This week's guest on Off the Hanger is Erica Feggeler. She's got an incredible brand called Low Ultraviolet. We chatted about all the fabulous things in her wardrobe, including comfortable shoes, minimalist dressing, and those perfect investment pieces. I hope you enjoy this episode. Welcome to Off the Hanger, Erica. It's really lovely to have you with us. I am looking forward very much to have a rummage through your wardrobe, but also for you to tell us about your super exciting brand that you have.
Yeah, thank you first and foremost for having me. I'm so excited to talk a little bit more about a topic that I love so much, and that's fashion and sun protective apparel in particular. I really love the intersection of fashion and functionality, and that's exactly what this brand delivers. So first and foremost, Low Ultraviolet is my sun-safe apparel brand. We were founded back in December of 2019, and it was really a personal story that triggered the start of the company. It was a melanoma diagnosis in my family that really had all of us looking toward and reevaluating our skin health and how we basically function on our everyday lives, whether or not we're staying protected or not. And a lot of the sun protective apparel on the market when I was getting started made me compromise on fashion and style in order to be sun safe. And that was just not okay with me. I did not want to compromise on looking and feeling my best, especially because I was 21 years old and I was still in college and I wanted to go with my friends to the beach and continue living my life on my terms. So that is how the brand was founded. Like I said, it was really at the intersection of style and function, and we've grown very, very rapidly over the past couple years.
That's incredible. It's such an ingenious idea because I am somebody who is super pale. The sun just looks at me and I am burnt. I am factor 50 all year round. But I know that even I can still get caught out. There's still moments when I've not reapplied sun cream enough, or I want to be in and out of the sea, or, surfing or whatever it is. And it is really important just to have some type of clothing on that's offering that level of protection as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the main thing that we hear all the time is, when you are wearing sunscreen, and even if you are being diligent about it, it is very hard to remember to reapply, especially if you're swimming or in the ocean. You don't want to be thinking about it. You just want to be enjoying your time. So apparel really allows you to continue having a great time without being paranoid that you're getting too much sun exposure. I'm very similar where I don't tan. I just burn immediately, seemingly. And I needed something that was a little bit more impactful than sunscreen that I could use in conjunction. And for me, that was sun protective apparel.
Amazing. And were you always into fashion as a child? Obviously, your brand started very early in your life, but did you love fashion throughout your childhood?
I did. My love for fashion started very, very young. My grandmother taught me to sew when I was 6 years old, which when I say sew, it was very, very basic sewing, of course. You were still trying to understand the basics of how to use a sewing machine and all of that stuff. But that's really where it started for me, understanding that you can take these pieces of fabric and the feel and you can make it into something brand new that never existed before. And that was so exciting to me. So she taught me how to sew. And then I really grew up like thrift and bargain shopping. So you kind of go through the racks and how you can tell immediately the difference between garments and how high end they are is the feel of the fabric. You look at the stitching, you look at the fabric, and that's how you can tell whether an item is higher end or on the little bit of a lower end in terms of the production. So I learned all of those things at a very young age and I loved it. And then in high school, I actually spent my summers at the Laboratory Institute of Merchandising in New York City. And that was just growing on that passion. So I was learning about fashion styling and PR in the fashion industry and manufacturing and all of these things that for me was opening up this whole new world where I knew about, sewing in my living room, basic items, but I didn't know about this bigger picture and how it could translate into a career.
That's incredible. What an amazing grounding to have. And then to be able to put all of those skills together to then create your brand and run your business. That's so brilliant. And was there a particular piece in your childhood that you can remember?
I remember the first piece I made was this 2-piece set that actually would probably be quite stylish today. And it was a little skirt and a little crop top combo. And I remember my grandma had to bribe me out of it so that she could wash it. and then I would put it right back on. So I wore it for weeks and weeks on end.
I think I'm still like that as a grown-up now. There's definitely pieces in my wardrobe where I'm like, I really should stop wearing this. I should really take this to the dry cleaners, or I should really wash this now. You cannot keep wearing this. It needs to be cleaned. But I just love it. I love it when you kind of get that attachment to something and they're like, it's just so good, I don't want to take it off. What's the oldest thing in your wardrobe?
The oldest thing in my wardrobe that I still wear on a daily basis probably isn't clothing, but jewelry. I'm very much a minimalist when it comes to the items in my wardrobe. I wear the same jewelry every single day. I really invest in pieces that will last a long time. So my Yearman ring, I wear every single day, probably one of the longest standing pieces in my wardrobe because I did invest in that quality and a piece that I knew would go with everything. So that's probably one of the oldest pieces in my wardrobe that I still wear every single day. And investing in staple pieces like that really go with everything is kind of my mantra. I don't know, I'm very minimalistic. I don't know if you can tell by the fact that I'm just wearing a boyfriend oversized button down, but that's just what works for me and my lifestyle.
And I think that's really nice to kind of know who you are as a person, what it is that you like, and then be able to invest in pieces that you know you're going to get lots and lots of wear out of, rather than jumping on every fast fashion trend that kind of passes your way. You're going, no, that's not who I am. I like the clean, I like the simple, I like the minimal. That's my vibe.
Absolutely. And I have to tell you, it probably took me 5 or 6 years to finally jump on the boyfriend denim trend. I was like, oh, I like my high rise, I like my skinny jeans, and even stuff like that. It takes me a few cycles to see the trend and see it being incorporated in kind of timeless styling ways that really make me invest in it. So I think it was finally when I saw, those high rise boyfriend jeans come out, but I saw it paired with a classic button down or a blazer. And that's what allowed me to really invest in it, saying like, okay, this is a piece that I can see being a part of my wardrobe for years and years to come.
What is your most complimented piece in your wardrobe?
My most complimented piece is probably, now this is gearing in the brand a little bit, so I swear this is an unbiased opinion and I'm not just trying to tie it in, but our all-star tennis dress that we launched back in 2020 is an incredibly versatile piece, and it's super soft, and every time I wear it, it has pockets and a neckline, and I style it with my Nike platform and a little bit of minimalistic jewelry and a baseball cap. And I get complimented on that a lot. People saying it looks comfortable, but it still looks really cute and stylish and versatile. And for me, that's the ultimate compliment, right? When something looks like it can serve multiple purposes that you can wear time and time again, but it's also comfortable. That's really important to me.
I think that is such a good point that I don't think we've touched upon before. It is really nice when you get something that's really well complimented that's also comfortable, because so many of our most complimented pieces are the most uncomfortable things that we own. The kind of the little dress that sucks you in, the corset top, the heels. It's those things that are a bit out there and over the top that people go, oh, that's fabulous. And you go, yep, but I'm in so much pain wearing it. So it's really nice to have something that's super comfortable at the same time.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. It's like you win the lottery. Right? You're like, oh, yes, but it's also comfortable.
It's like the extra humble brag. I'm also very comfortable in this, I'll have you know.
Right.
Now, you mentioned that you like an investment piece. What's the most expensive piece that you own?
Probably my heels, because heels are really important to me. I want to make sure that they're functional. So I actually have my Sarah Flint heels here, and they are just like the perfect timeless black pump. I don't know if you can tell, you kind of can tell. It has arch support, which again, I preach about comfort, right? So this is a super stylish pair of black heels, but they're also incredibly comfortable. And I've worn these for years and years and they still look brand new. And the heel, I don't have to worry about breaking them because they have a rod heel. These pieces, they're a little bit of a splurge, but they last and they go with everything. I've worn them with jeans. I've worn them with a suit. I've worn them like basically with literally everything. So again, that kind of goes back to investing in pieces that you know you can wear time and time again.
And again, that is the epitome of a great shoe. It's when it's comfortable but still really stylish. When it looks really nice on your foot and it gives you that elevation, but your feet are screaming, that's the dream.
Yeah. Yes, I'm also 5'2", so a little bit of height for me is very important because I like to feel a little bit taller, especially in situations, where I'm a little bit out of my comfort zone. A heel gives me a little bit of confidence that I might not otherwise have in those situations. So a comfortable heel where my feet aren't screaming and I feel a little bit more confident is definitely a win for me.
Yeah, you see, I'm 5'7", so I am a bit taller, but I would still always love to be taller. I think my dream is that one day somebody might say that I was statuesque. Like that's cool for me. For somebody, if somebody ever referred to me as being statuesque, I'd be like, oh, amazing. I'd love that. I love the idea of just being super tall and like being lifted above everyone. Such a weird, I'm sure there's some weird psychology thing about that says something terrible about me, but that's just what I would like.
No, I love it.
What's the newest addition you've got?
The newest addition that I just added to my wardrobe in February is these just super basic diamond stud earrings. My husband got them for me for Valentine's Day. And before this, I never wore earrings. I just had a hard time remembering to wear them. Again, it was the same thing where I didn't want to constantly be switching them out with outfits. I just wanted something to go with everything. So these studs I've worn every day since, and I literally do not take them off. They look just as good with a ball gown as they do with my athleisure today. And it really, I know I sound like a broken record, but it all goes back to timeless pieces that are versatile. And I know they're not going to go out of style.
They're great. And you just catch the glint of them. They're not too over the top. They're not too big. Like you say, they are that perfect crossover piece that works every single day, but would work, as you say, with a ball gown. They are just very timeless. I like them a lot. Are you quite sentimental about the pieces in your wardrobe? Is there a most sentimental piece?
I am very sentimental. I think it's because I have such a strong tie with the family story when it comes to fashion, when it comes to pieces in my wardrobe. I mean, does perfume count as items that are added to your wardrobe? Because I think you have that scent memory that's associated with it as well.
I think that's a lovely idea. We've not had that before, but I do think it's something we wear. We wear them, don't you? You wear a perfume.
Yeah, so it goes back to my grandma as well, and I have the bottle here, but she gave me this is like an older bottle of perfume that it's like a lovely etched glass bottle, and it smells like her, and it's just a timeless piece that I don't know. I have the scent memory, like you said. It's nostalgic for me. It brings up memories. It takes me back to a time and a place. So perfume is something that's always really important to me.
That's beautiful. And I love the way that, it came from somebody in the family. It gives you those memories of them every time you smell it. What brand is it? Is it a brand that's still available now?
It isn't. I don't believe it is because I tried to find it and I don't believe it exists anymore. It was like Esmeralda or something like that. And I don't believe it exists anymore, but it smells like home to me. It smells so warm and so inviting and so lovely. And also, I don't think they make glass bottles like this anymore. This wasn't the most high-end perfume per se, but like the quality is so beautiful. And the fact that even after decades, it still holds that much scent. Yeah, it's very nostalgic. It's very special to me.
And do you still put it on? Do you wear it, or are you very much trying to just preserve it and save it?
I do sometimes when I need a little extra motivation. It kind of goes back to like when I'm at an event where I'm not comfortable, I like to wear heels. It's very similar with the scent that like if I need a little extra motivation, whether I'm going into a presentation or an investor meeting, and I know I'm going to be out of sorts, just having something that really grounds me and reminds me that like, hey, you can do this. You have a story, you have a mission, you have a purpose, and that it kind of brings me back to that. But it's only on special occasions that I wear it.
It's like that little bit of reassurance. I imagine it feels like a kind of almost like a hug of, that your grandma's there with you, giving you that hug through that smell, and you're able to then just bring that sense of confidence with you.
Absolutely.
Is there a piece in your wardrobe you would say most sums you up?
Most sums me up, other than the somber type of apparel, which I feel like has become very on brand for me over the past couple of years. But I think a piece that really sums me up is probably my birdies. If you're familiar with the brand, they're slipper shoes. I have them here and they have been well loved. So do not judge how they look, but they're practical and functional. And I feel like this pretty much sums me up because there you could go from the boardroom to walking my dog and everything in between. And their big thing as well is function and fashion, right? So as you can see, I very much prescribe to brands or subscribe to brands that have that fashion and functionality. You know, I want to go from a meeting to walking my dog to getting coffee with friends, and I don't want to think about it. I just want to be ready to go for each of those opportunities.
It's great to have such versatile pieces in your wardrobe.
Yes, absolutely. And even the fact that these pieces are something that you wouldn't know those are slippers. I mean, maybe if you looked at them because they are a little fur lined, but you wouldn't necessarily know that they're slippers. I'm very comfortable, but they're also practical with having a little bit of a rubber bottom as well. But yeah, absolutely.
That's great. I'd love to be able to get away with wearing my slippers outside. My slippers are really not outdoor appropriate. Um, just because they're, well, let's not start talking about my horrendous slippers. Now, are you somebody who has ever fallen foul to a fashion faux pas or a wardrobe malfunction that you would like to share with us?
Because we're talking about the slippers, I guess it isn't the biggest faux pas because they kind of pulled off, but I was going to a conference a couple weeks ago and I had my suit on and I walked my dog right before I left to drive to the conference and I left my slippers on with my suit, and I meant to change into my heels. And I got to the conference and I was like, oh my goodness, my slippers are still on. I can't believe I did this. And everyone's like, oh, you would never know, never know. But internally, I was like, I'm so embarrassed. I meant to wear my heels. It tied the whole outfit together with my suit. And here I am in my slippers and I feel so silly. But everyone got a good laugh out of it, even though I was a little embarrassed by it. So although that's not necessarily a faux pas, internally it felt like one.
You embraced it. You rocked them. They're a great pair of slippers. I think you would definitely have got away with it. You just didn't need to mention you were fine. You were absolutely fine. Now, are those slippers your favorite pair of shoes, or is there an alternative favorite pair of shoes?
I am absolutely loving my Nike platforms right now. I'm currently wearing them right now with this outfit just because they are, one, comfortable. We're seeing a common theme and trend with comfort. They're comfortable. They give me a little bit of height. I say when I wear them, I'm 5'4", which for me is like a giant. So they give me a little bit of height as well. And they go with everything. So I love the white sneaker trend and how you can wear it with dresses and you can wear it with jeans and you can wear it with a suit. You can wear it with so many different things. So again, it goes to the same. I can wear it multiple different ways. So for me, investing in them was a no-brainer.
That's great. I love a good pair of trainers or a good pair of sneakers, as you might say. They are just super comfy, but I love that we've gone so much more fashion forward with them. There are now trainers that are specifically for fashion, not just function, that are great colors and interesting shapes. And I love it. I'm totally here for that trend.
I absolutely agree. Yeah.
Now, if you could have any fashion piece, you can have it irrespective of practicality or cost, just a dream item, what would you have?
Oh my goodness. A dream item. That's a good question. Probably would have to be a designer handbag. I've really been looking at the YSL crossbody bag that comes in a green velvet, and it's just absolutely beautiful. And I look at it probably like every month and I'm like, no, not right now. You don't need it right now. But it's such a beautiful bag. And, probably if I was being a little bit more practical, I would get it in leather versus velvet because it would hold up a little bit better over time. But that is like my dream bag that I cannot stop thinking about.
I love it when you have a piece like that, when it's all you can think about every time you I'm going to just go look on the website and look at it again. And have you seen it in person? Have you been to store? Have you seen it in real life?
I haven't because that would be dangerous. I would go home with it.
Yeah, maybe stay away just for now. But one day you could go in and have the full experience and then just walk out with it. It'd be gorgeous.
Yes, one of these days.
Now, to finish with, do you have a piece of fashion advice that you would have given to your younger self?
Fashion advice and sun safety advice combined would be to take charge of my skin health and recognize that there are pieces out there that can keep you protected and safe while still feeling like yourself. I mean, our skirt and top combo right there, I would wear all the time, and it's UPF 50 plus, and it's comfortable, and I feel great wearing it. So just reminding myself that there are ways out there to protect your skin, wear sunscreen that don't make you feel gross, and wear items that make you feel the most like yourself. I feel like that's the biggest one, because I certainly fell prey to, well, sun protective apparel is meant for my grandmother. It's meant for older people. It's not meant for me. So really redefining what that means is very important.
That is great advice. And if people want to check out your brand, should they go?
They can go to lowultraviolet.com, and they can also find us on all the platforms at Low Ultraviolet. And we also have our own podcast called The Ultraviolet Tide that you can find on all podcasting platforms. But I would love to connect with people, hear their stories, and, continue the conversation.
That's incredible. Thank you so much for being a guest on Off the Hanger.
Thank you so much for having me. This was such a fun chat.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe and check out more episodes of Off the Hanger.